There's football coming your way. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Morrison, and he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Up the middle they go. It's Morrison. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Out of the gun now on third down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there in the opening drive, but that ball's incomplete.
And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
You talk about the pause that refreshes. I think it's come at a perfect time of the year for them, hasn't it? You know, it's the season is starting to wind down, got a little bit of a break. But how about the guy calling the signals? He's got to be excited about that because now he didn't just get a game plan for 1 week. He was able to work on it for 2 weeks. I can't wait to see if they have anything special in store for him today.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now a 2nd and 2. Off play action. McGraw. It's caught. Mitchell. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. McGraw. And this is incomplete. When you look at this defense against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Off the play fake. McGraw to the right side and intercepted. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they have things going in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight, and that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
Back to throw is Gray. Off play action. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back to throw now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Morrison. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's second down. Back to throw. Gray. Got his open man. It's Carr. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 36 yards on the play.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. They'll look to throw again. And he's got it. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Gray gonna throw on third and goal. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a fourth down. Well played.
And his kick is good. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And
anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The home team's offense, led by their running back, headed out for the second possession. We show you the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns. And you can see where he's right up there amongst the league's best at finding the end zone. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's caught. It's Malone. And down he'll go at the 25. When you look at this defense against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Operating from the gun, McGraw. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Back to throw again. And this complete to Mitchell. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. That catch, by the way, number 505 of his career, and that ties him with a couple of other tight ends for the pass, Frank Wycheck and Dallas Clark.
And those guys were excellent players, but how about what we're seeing right now? 505 and rising. What a nice career he's put together.
And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
On the pickup. 2nd and 6.
They'll keep it on the ground. Malone, and this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They'll run on first down. It's Malone, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. From the 29, here's second down at 7. Looking to throw. McGraw throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're working inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter down, it's our home team with possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back to throw. McGraw. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down in bounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really, by the way?
That he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. That's into the hands of Woods. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stop him short.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will tie us at 3-3. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator, and what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Finding Green complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Holding offense.
Well, that one hurts. That wipes away what would have been a big play.
But you and I both know coaches aren't real big on silver linings. But at least that play call was a successful one. Now the focus offensively, that goes to overcoming the penalty and making all that yardage back again.
Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. Here's a 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Gray going underneath to the tight end Green. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. They bring their punter out there now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken around the 12. That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now the Rio offense set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd and 4. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Back out comes San Antonio. They'll have very good starting field position here as they try to break our tie, and they start 1st and 10. On 1st down, Morrison. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Gray. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So all field goals so far, 6-3 our score as the kick is away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the Rio offense about to set up shop once again. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll run on 1st down. Malone, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 40-yard line.
Operating from the gun, McGraw. Looking for the out route. He's got his man. It's Mitchell. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively. Just too hard to keep him under wraps. He delivers a big play here for this offense.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Open man there is Malone. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I thought they were onto something with their play call and kind of went in reverse a little bit. Threw it on first down, then ran it on second down. Not successful either way. What play call do they come up with here on this important third down try?
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. And this one is right through, and that will tie things up at 6-6. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Back out comes San Antonio. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. This offense so far on third down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Going underneath to the tight end Green. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Gray off the play fake. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Morrison. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. Looking to throw. Gray. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to take the lead. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Extra point right down the middle, and they will take a 7-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. This offense back to work now late in this first half. With his slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive. Throwing to start the drive. McGraw, he finds his man, complete. That's Malone. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Back to throw. McGraw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit.
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Off play action. McGraw. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Operating from the gun. McGraw steps away to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Malone. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Malone, and he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. 2nd and 9. Now a first carry here for their running back. And he's got this down to the 35. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. This now a 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. McGraw throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. A loss of 3 on a sack made by multiple defenders. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Off the play fake. Gray. That is caught. And some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to extend their lead. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right up.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 8. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So now out comes this offense led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. Throwing to start the drive. McGraw over the middle, complete. That's Mitchell. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Now a give right side. Malone, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Now third down and 6.
Back to throw. McGraw. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Off play action. Gray. He finds his man. Complete. It's Morrison. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it'll be second down. Operating from the gun. Gray going underneath to the tight end Green. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and now it's 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Complete. Richardson has it. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Well, this offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He finds his man. Complete. It's Mitchell. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
At the 45-yard line.
Up the middle they go. It's Malone. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll keep it on the ground. Malone. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth. They'll look to throw now on first down. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that will bring up second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 32-yard line.
Here's the option. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first. Hands it off out of the gun. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. He will push his way down to about the 14. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. First and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Operating from the gun, McGraw, touchdown! A 7-yard touchdown grab. And his guy's now just a 2-point conversion away from tying us up. So part one of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
The offense will line up for a 2-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Now they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score, but bottom line, they are still on top with the football, and a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up second down. Looking to throw. Gray got his man complete over the middle. That's Richardson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
First down, San Antonio.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He finds his man complete. It's Carr. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 48-yard line.
Back to throw. Gray throwing the out route and complete. It's Carr. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Pickup on the play. And the San Antonio first down.
Now a handoff up the middle. Morrison. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
On first down, it's Morrison. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Carr. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Looking to throw. Gray. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
And his kick is indeed good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And they will wrangle them down a couple yards shy of the 30. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game planned for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Off the play fake, McGraw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big 30-yard play on 3rd.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of. And, in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a fourth-quarter comeback. And he hits a big one right there.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun, McGraw. And he comes back with one complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete. He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
A big play here. 3rd and 2.
Back to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Here we go. This is 4th down.
They'll try and run for it. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Operating from the gun. Gray going underneath to the tight end. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And we talk so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for San Antonio, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they will head back home next week.
Meanwhile, for Rio,
it's a tough one to swallow as they drop back to 8-4 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on